everyone, this is Danielle, also known as Gently Smiling Jaws, and welcome to my Flosstube mid-year WIP Parade. We're going to see how this goes. I actually don't know how many WIPs I have. I've kind of been avoiding thinking about that, so I'm going to be counting them as I go along, and at the end I'm going to see what I have. And part of this for me is identifying any smaller WIPs or WIPs that are closer to a finish that I'm hoping I can focus on a little more to get some of these things cleared out. A lot of my WIPs aren't, I don't do a whole lot of, smalls, and I should do more so I get the satisfaction of a finish, but I feel like my WIPs have kind of been piling up without a lot of finishes. So we're going to go through, see what I've got, and go from there. A few things. It's warm today. I didn't get a chance to film earlier when I intended to, so fan is running. I'm doing what I can to try and kind of block the fan sound a little bit from my audio, but I don't know how successful that will be, so we will see. We'll see what happens. I'm fingers crossed for the audio. And the other thing is I have my tea that I have here that I kind of brewed up earlier. It's just in oolong that's stuffed in a slice of bitter melon, and I'm just brewing this grandpa style. I just dumped the tea in here, dumped the water in here, and this has been sitting for a while, so it has a chance to cool off, so I don't have to worry about it being hot as I'm sipping on this as I film, because I feel like my voice is gonna need it. So this is not in any particular order. It will be sort of haphazard as I go through. I don't have project bags for all of my WIPs, and I may need to change some of that. I have some things I have kitted up in project bags, and maybe I should take those out to free up the project bags for actual projects, but that's something for later me to figure out. So we will go along and see what we've got. I'm not necessarily going to have all the information on fabric and floss as I go through, or on the project bag info. I think last time I did one of these WIP parades, I tried to put all of the project bag info down in the description. I don't know that I'm going to have time to do that this time. I'm trying to get this done and edited and uploaded before I try and do a complete reinstall of Windows on my computer, so I have that to look forward to. But if you have questions about things where I didn't mention it in the video, just leave a comment and I can get you an answer. So let's start. Where to start? Maybe I'll just start with the pile behind me and we'll go from there. Alright, first WIP I am going to hold up here. This is for the Femurs and Fungi cell from Fine Frog Stitching. I just started this recently. A friend of mine who cross stitches had been doing this. I had watched her working on it. I decided I wanted to do it. I had purchased the pattern, I purchased the fabric. I realized I didn't have all the floss on hand, so it took me some time before I placed an order for the floss, as well as floss I needed for some other things. And once I got everything, I started on this basically the day that the last part of the cell was released, so I'm coming in on the tail end. But what I have done so far is I'm almost done with the frames for this. Well, the frames and the shelves. One of these, this one here, I didn't get all the floss put in when I was working on it last night, so I'm close to having this part of it done, and then I can work on, you know, all the individual sections, and that should, I imagine that should go quicker as I go through, because I think the like weekly portions, I don't know the exact, you know, stitch count numbers on those, but they were, you know, obviously this I think is over 2,000 stitches on just the frames and the shelves that are kind of the base for everything. So but yeah, so I will be using everything called for in the SAL on this, and other things I go through for these patterns, I will go ahead and edit in a photo of what these look like. This one had been a mystery SAL, but it's now complete and the full pattern is released. So I'll get a picture of that put in. Alright, so that's one down, and I guess I should be writing these down as I go, or at least making a check mark here so that I know what I've got. And there's another SAL coming out later this year. It's plants and petrichor, and I think that goes on sale later this month, and then it will the SAL actually starts in August, and that I just ordered my fabric. I ordered the floss for that when I ordered the floss for this, so that's one I will be joining in on when the time comes. So WIP 1. There will be lots of zipping and unzipping of bags. That's just the way it is, because I put all the ones that I could into bags because I wanted to keep everything as organized as possible, although it is sort of a mess around me right now. This is the free pattern from Jacob at Modern for Folk Embroidery, the free Palestine pattern, and you know, I had just showed this in a recent Flosstube. I haven't made any further progress yet, but that's where things are at so far. This is on a 46 count linen, and I quite like how it looks on this. And the other thing, I think it was this, so I wanted to mention, I think it's this one where the red Silken Colors floss, I feel like it's more compared to the other colors, it sort of stands up more. I don't know that that's necessarily going to come across on video here, but I just feel like it's a little more dimensional on the fabric. It stands up a bit more. So more to go on this, and I figured it was appropriate to have a bag with watermelons on it for this, so that's where this lives. I need to remember to take notes. And who knows, my count may be off by the time this is done. Okay, this is one I definitely need to make note of to focus on, because this is another modern folk embroidery pattern. This is one of the patterns from the 8 Biscornu pattern, where there's 8 different ones, and I just had picked one to do for this, and so really I have to finish the stuff around here, and then there's like a, you know, 1 stitch border that goes all the way around, so I really don't have that much more to do, and I should just focus on this for a bit and get it done and have a finish, and then feel good that I have a finish. So let me make a note of that. And this is another Thread Gatherer Silken Colors variegated floss, which I quite like. I mean, I don't like variegated floss for everything, but when you're using it, it does a lot of the work for you if you want to have a lot of, you know, pretty colors in there without having to change floss constantly. So this is one. Maybe I will set this over to the side here as one I need to remember. All right. Next up is pattern by Lindy Stitches, Birds to the Boughs. When I had last worked on this, after not working on it for a while, I made progress on the one bird there, and I was quite enjoying it. It was, this is a lower count fabric, I don't remember offhand, it may be 32, that I'm normally using now, and I'm doing 2 over 2, and usually I'm using higher count and doing 1 over 2. So this, going back to this, was a little different. I was quite enjoying it. I think what threw me off from diving right back into it again was, as the last time I did this, as I was editing the Flosstube video I was showing it in, I realized that, see the border, how close everything is to this border here, and then I have more of a gap up here. I realized that I had made a mistake somewhere. I also recognized that there was no way I wanted to rip out everything, so I'm going to have to fudge something along there and you know, fill in some space. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do, but I'll do something. But I think knowing that I'd made that mistake, it just made me not want to dive back in again. I will get back to it. I will finish it. I just wasn't ready quite yet. As I'm looking at it now, I'm feeling better about it. I'm especially feeling better about it that I've been sitting here. You know, when I've been working on it, I was sitting there stitching on it, looking at it for a long time, and I didn't notice that there was an error. So I think it's, you know, not that big of a deal, but I do want to do something to kind of fill in the space a little bit. But that's for later me to figure out. So this is WIP number 4. This one is not anywhere near finished. I don't have in front of me all the percentages of where I'm at. I do have that info, it's just not something I'm taking the time to look up for everything as I go through this one. Next is an ink circles pattern, and this is, I can note here, reflections on a Grecian urn. Again, this is a lower count fabric that I'm typically using these days, and it is 2 over 2 DMC 310 for the black, and then some thread gatherer silken colors for the some sections I'm going to do in color, like the octopus and the scorpion in there. So got a ways to go on this, but I had picked this up again you know, not that long ago after not touching it for a while, and it was nice to get some progress in on it. It's another one that sort of falls into the category of I could spend some more time on it, and this one finished, but I'm not as close to a finish on this as I am on some other things, so. This is Marroomy Designs from Yalda to Nowruz, and I'm not that far. I only have the working on the top border, and as you'll see when I put the picture in here, there's a border around all this, and then it's different bands, and it was a stitch along where the bands were, you know, kind of released on a weekly basis, and there were alternate versions of some, so I haven't fully decided which bands I'll be doing, and I haven't fully decided on the colors I'll be doing those bands in, but it was a something I got started on, and then I got distracted by some of her other patterns, which I am also working on, so something to get back to. But this one, it's not going to be done anytime soon. And this is just the black is just DMC 310, and I know this is a 40 count Stitch Me fabric. I don't remember offhand which fabric it is, other than it's a gray. Possibly lunar, but I don't want to say that with 100% certainty. Then this is one I haven't touched for a while because I was doing good on it at kind of more towards the beginning of the year when we were still close to the Christmas season. Modern folk embroidery, Julbocken. See, I'd made some good progress on, but still have the bottom half to do here. And this is again a thread gatherer, silken colors floss that I'm using. So this one, quite enjoying how it was turning out. It just, as it got a little, as we got kind of more into 2024, I decided, time to set this aside and work on some other stuff, but I will get back to it. It probably, as it starts to get a little later in the year, I'll be ready to pick it back up again. I also really like the fabric that it's on. I don't know if it's a Zweigart. I don't remember off the top of my head what the fabric is, but I have been quite happy with it, and I really like the combo of the floss and the fabric on this. Alright. Now, see, and I'm forgetting to note things on my list. Let me go back here. How many did I miss? Okay. By my count, that was WIP number 7, but editing me will have to figure it out, so. Alright. Next, I'm taking this off the hoop because I moved the hoop to work on more and then realized I wouldn't be able to really show this off. I am playing catch up on Stitch for Pride 2024 by D's 20 Stitches. I didn't get the pattern at the end of last year. I got it during the brief period of time it was on sale again during June to raise money for D's top surgery, and I dove in. I did the January, the Keith Haring portion, and the February Candy Wiley portion, and I will be moving on to March soon. I had worked on those and then got distracted by some of the other stuff that I was working on, but I will get back to that. I know the July portion has been released, so I'm playing catch up, but these sections are kind of a more manageable monthly portion. I don't, even though I have a lot left to do, I don't feel so overwhelmed by each piece. So making progress here, and this is on a 40 count fox and rabbit oyster shell, and the flosses that I'm using, the blue and the green there are Dying for Sass, Goth Rainbow, and then the red is a Silken Colors, and the yellow is Cottage Garden Threads Yield. I was wanting to add bits of color, and I was just sort of grabbing from what I had handy from other projects that I was working on. So just kind of tossing things in, and we'll see how it evolves as I go along. So that is WIP number 8. Put that, since that's not in a bag, it can sit there. Next is long-term project, which I have not moved on to the next portion yet. And this is Lindy Stitches Airmail series. I have February and March done, and I've got my own little border that I'm putting around because I'm going to do a book of stamps with 4 on each page. Not all of the patterns are released yet. I have some of the ones that, so I'm dropping things here. I have some that I need to get to. I need to do May, June, July. I was trying to work on them in the months, but I have not kept up. But yes, 2 of the eventually 12 are done. So even though these individual patterns are a finish as they're part of a bigger project, it's still a WIP. So I'm just going to count this as one WIP on my list here. So number 9. And that fabric is, oh, what is it? It's Fox and Rabbit 40 count. I think it's white clay. The colors are all the called for colors. The red and blue that I'm using in my border that's supposed to look like, you know, kind of airmail letter border, those are Cottage Garden Threads. I don't remember the red off the top of my head. I think the blue is Sawyer, but that's going off the top of my head there. Next, so WIP number 10. This is Shaded Stitchery's Freedom Motif Sampler. So I'm going to make a note of that. I started this earlier this year. I worked on it last month. I did a big portion with the water there too. Figured that stitching on it around Juneteenth was appropriate, so that's what I've done. Still have quite a ways to go, and I'm not quite sure when I'm going to get back to this, but I am definitely looking forward to see how it looks. Obviously there's tons of important symbolism in it, and I just love all the colors in it as well. There's a lot of shaded stitchery patterns that I like. It's just so many things and trying to find time to stitch them all, but I want to kind of focus on this piece for shaded stitchery patterns and get my way worked through this one, and then move along to others. The one that she released this year for Juneteenth, taking up space, I think that one's a beautiful piece as well. And this is also a Fox and Rabbit. I think this is a Duxbury. I have a piece of Duxbury that has more like speckling on it. This one doesn't have that, but I think it works out really well for this piece, and I'm liking how it's looking. I think this is a 40. This is either a 40 count or a 46 count. I don't remember for certain. I'm thinking 40, but. Next, another modern folk embroidery. And this is Here Be Dragons, and I'm still just have the border on there. This is a Be Stitch Me 40 count fabric. with Silken Colors. I was just looking at it earlier, so I think it's a Cerise Noir is the color. So I started this because Year of the Dragon. I have obviously a ways to go, but it's been a bit since I've worked on it, but making progress on that border. I know that Jacob had released another dragon pattern since it was this year, since it was for Year of the Dragon, and I quite like that one as well. Maybe something to stitch eventually, but I need to make more progress on this one first. So WIP number 11. Note on that. Next is Carolyn Manning piece. This is Birthday Cake. I made a start on this, started this on my birthday this year. Figured it was appropriate for a piece called Birthday Cake. So this is WIP 12. As I've mentioned before on previous videos, what I like about Carolyn Manning's pieces like this, where it's just the various blocks of color, it's nice to work on when you're watching or listening to something and you want to pay a little less attention to the pattern itself and having to go back and reference it constantly, because for something like this, you check the pattern, see, okay, this is what the next like little block or triangle I have to do, that's what the color is. You go, you get that started, you get that block done, then back to the pattern to check it to find out where you're going next. So haven't gotten back to this yet, and there's a lot of stitches in her pieces, and as I've said before, there's not, at least currently, and I know never say never, but at least currently there are not many full coverage patterns that I'm really drawn to. Just doing a ton of confetti over a huge piece where you're doing a bunch of stitching, that's, at least at this stage, it is not appealing to you of how I want to spend my time stitching. But something like this, or it's blocks of color, even though there's a lot of stitches and it's full coverage, this is my type of full coverage stitching. So another one to get back to. This is the Marroomy Designs pattern. This is Mellow the Phoenix. And this is the pattern that I was using the Cottage Garden Threads gilt for. So that's why I had it sitting near me when I worked on the Stitch for Pride piece and ended up grabbing it. So made some progress on this. Obviously still have a ways to go, but I love the combination of this floss and the fabric. The fabric is from Banana Oil. I believe it's a 36 count linen. So yeah, normally I'm aiming for 40 or 46 count with linen these days, but 36 is close enough, and when the fabric looks like this, why not stitch on it? So I love this piece of fabric. So note of that. This is WIP number 13. Which doesn't sound too bad, but I know I've got a ways to go. I know there are many people who have many more WIPs than I do. I am trying to figure out what makes sense for me as far as the number to have, and we will see. So like I said, that was WIP number 13 by my count. All right. What do we have here? This is the Artsy Housewife Dark Golden delicious. This is Bestitch Me, I think, Evil Queen. I know there's a I think this is a 36 count. I just thought I remembered this being a little lower count than I wanted, but normally when I'm ordering from Bestitch Me, I haven't yet ordered a you know, placed an order where it had to be you know, where I had to wait for it to be dyed. I've only ordered the stuff that's already ready to go. So at the time that I was looking through there, this was the count that they had, and that's why I picked this piece up, and now it's being used for this. I am using the Vicky Clayton silks on this. So obviously only just started with the border there, but that is where I am at. Make a note of this. And among the other things I'm getting ready to start is Artsy Housewife's Patreon. There was a Patreon pattern called Dream Within a Dream. I received my fabric and Roxy Floss conversion in the mail the other day. I have not yet started, but that will be soon. So it's another one that will be added to the list of WIPs, but I'm not there yet, so it didn't make it into this video. Alright, this is my Modern Folk Embroidery 2024 sale. No time like the present. If you've been watching my earlier videos, you know I am behind. I am very behind. There's no way I am finishing this on the schedule, but I just kind of keep chipping away and making progress. This is on a Bestitch Me fabric. I don't remember which one off the top of my head. It is a 40 count. Those are thread gather silken colors, the brown and then the lighter cream tan color. So yeah, this is the sale where I learned that something this big with that much monthly stitching, there's no way that works for me. Doesn't mean I'm not going to stitch it eventually, but it means I won't be stitching it on that schedule. And I will say, I know I'm not going to put in all the info for the bags, although certainly ask me if you have questions. If you see a bag like this that has a little heart on it, these ones are from So Much to Love, and a lot of my other bags, the majority of the bags are So Much to Love, Sheba Designs, and Little Boat 88. I think the vast majority of my bags are from those sellers, although I do have a few from other folks. Okay, as I feel my voice going a little bit here, so time for a tea break. Okay, we are at 15 WIPs if I have been keeping track, so we'll see. This is, now since I've got this in my hand, let me take a look. The floss on this one is Silken Colors in Fading Ink. This is a taro. A tarot sal from Uncanny Kari, where there is just kind of symbols for each of the cards. I am stitching this 1/1 on, I know this is XJU Designs Grandpa's sleeve. I think this is a 28 count, and again, lower count than I normally stitch on, so I am doing this over 1. And I am happy with how it's turning out, although it's a little fiddly to get the stitches to lay like I want them to. So haven't gotten back to this one in a bit, but this one I have to look and see what the stitch count on this is, because I know I have a lot to do still, but I don't think it's that huge. This is one that maybe I should focus on a little more to get through it. So I'm going to add this. I'm going to add this to this stack, even though I know that I have I'm not nearly done. Okay. This is me forgetting to write down my WIPs. So that was the tarot sal. Okay, Kari. This number 17 here is Roladex Mourning sampler from Michelle of Bendy Stitchy. And said I had made some pretty swift progress in the beginning. As I was working on this, I need to get back to it, but the entire thing, I'll probably have to move the fabric on the hoop as I do it, but the entire pattern should be kind of visible within this area once it's stitched. So I know I have a ways to go, but this is one I could focus on some more and kind of get a lot done. I'm saving the willow leaves for last. And my battery is getting near the end, so I'm going to have to find a time to pause this and swap my battery out. The fabric is 40 count Lap and Loops Graveyard Mist. Is Modern Folk Embroidery Souls of the Dead. I am working on the words. I have the words, the bottom band, and then there's like a border that goes all around the outside. There's like a 1-stitch border, and so this one I will be adding over there because I forget exactly how many stitches I have left, but if I focus on this some, I should be able to get the rest done and get this finished. So I will make a note here. This is WIP number 18. This is on Picture This Plus Ancient, maybe a 32 count, don't remember off the top of my head. This is Silken Colors. I think Smokestack is the black floss, I believe. when I had picked this back up again recently, I felt like I had made a good chunk of progress. I just need to keep picking it back up and then get a finish. This one, you know which one this one is. This is a strawberry bird from the blue flower. And is another one that I should get back to. I meant to pick this back up for that strawberry moon sal that was in June, but I just didn't get around to picking it back up. This is another one where I don't think I have a ton left to do, but I just need to focus on it. I've obviously got strawberries and flowers. I just haven't actually gotten to the bird portion yet, the cedar waxwings. So this is one I will add to my pile of ones to focus on. This is a Bestitch Me fabric that it's on 40 count. I don't remember, would the grog maybe? And not 100% certain on that, and the colors are the called for colors. This will be added to this pile. This is one that makes me happy every time I pick it up. Forgot to note the last one. Strawberry bird. This is Ink Circle's Dragons of Sumatra. Now this is Bestitch Me 40 count Meadow. The floss is Silken Colors Lizard Back. So still working on that border. I think this one, forget how far I am in it. It's a, I think it's around 14,000 or so stitches. I know I have quite a ways to go, but every time I pick this up, I am happy to work on it. I just have to get more done. So number 20, Dragons of Sumatra. Another Marroomy Designs. This is the Bivas sampler. I am stitching this on, this is a Bestitch Me Ada, forget if it's 16 or 18 count in Sand Dollar, and the floss is Silken Colors Wood Smoke. There's lots of animals in there. A while back I had picked this up a number of times, made some good progress on those bands there, but still have quite a ways to go. Even though I do a lot of stitching on linen when I stitch on Ada like this, and I've been trying to add some more Ada projects in. The having a little less work with the counting is very nice, and I always enjoy stitching on it, so that's one of the things that makes me happy when I go back to this one, along with just the pattern as well. So let me make a note. That's Bivas sampler number 21. the Witchy Stitcher kits. All treats, no tricks. I will add this to my pile of ones that I should focus on to just finish. I've got kind of 2 of the characters there. There's a 3rd character order, so I know I have a ways to go, but it's kind of one of the smaller pieces that I have. So one that I should focus on. And I had purchased the kit when it came out, so it's everything that's included with the kit: the cottage garden threads, floss, the linen, that's fox and rabbit, and I think it's seaweed is the color. Excuse me. So that's in the WIP number 22. All treats, no tricks. To the ever-growing stack there. All right. You know, as I still have a few left, but I am feeling better about the amount of WIPs that I have, because so far it's sort of less than I feared, and because there's still things I want to start. Feel a little less bad about that. This is Owl Forest Alice in Wonderland, which is a free pattern. Let's hold this up here so you can see it. This is, I had gotten a kit that had the fabric and the floss. Like I said, the pattern is free. You can find that on their site. Download that, and this is the tricolor version. There's one that's full color that I think is really pretty. I went with the tricolor version, actually because that was kind of the look that I wanted, and I also kind of thought that probably most people would go for the full color version, so I wanted to do something that was probably not as common. So I started in on the Queen of Hearts. That's as far as I've gotten, and after I make a note of this is number 23. Okay, I know the exact reason why. I need to change my battery. Okay, back after switching my battery, and back to the Owl Forest Embroidery Alice in Wonderland. I know exactly why I haven't gotten back to this, and it's because when I was working on this pattern, it's a free pattern, it's a pattern covers multiple pages, and it's a PDF, and I was having issues getting it into Pattern Keeper the way that I wanted, and so I might have to go back, and now that I've used Pattern Keeper more than when I started this, I may go back and kind of figure out if I want to try and bring the pattern in a different way, or if I just want to work on it kind of section by section now that I actually have a starting point, and then jump around through the pages. I think that if I can get my Pattern Keeper pattern set up more in a way that I'm happy with, that I will get back to this and make some more progress. I have quite a bit to do, so it's probably not going to come back to it immediately, but something to get done eventually. It's just, there are certain things that when you work on a pattern that you know how you like to work on your stitching and what things help you, and for me, having stuff in Pattern Keeper helps. And I have a number of printed patterns, and I need to go and work on stuff from there as well. But with those printed patterns, it's always a thing of, okay, what do I have to do to get it into Pattern Keeper first? I have used the whole system of you take a picture and set the grid up on there, and I've gotten that to work fine. It's just having that paper pattern. There are some more steps that I have to go through to get things to a way that I like, because except in certain situations, if it's like a pattern that's not, you know, too big or something, my preference is not to work from paper patterns. I much prefer working on Pattern Keeper, but we'll get back to this one eventually. So that was WIP 23. This is a WIP I was thinking about recently, about needing to get it back out again. And this is Long Dog Opening Gambit. I'm trying to remember. I know the fabric is a printed fabric, and it's an even weave Lugana. I forget which. I'd have to look the information up again. When I originally started this, I so naively thought, oh, I can have this done for like a Christmas present or a birthday present for someone. I do not stitch that fast, and this is all DMC 310 2/2, and I was not enjoying stitching this way on this fabric. I'm going to push through and get it done. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to pick it back up again, but it's been on my mind recently. And I actually have just recently ordered some more Lugana, just to give it a try again. I don't know, this was the first time I had tried stitching on the fabric, and just for whatever reason it wasn't making me happy. Now I haven't stitched on it in quite a while, so maybe I'll feel differently when I go back to it, but you know, trying new things, figuring out what you like. So yeah, I need to go back, work on this. I know that there's back stitching here that I have not done, because the back stitching doesn't show up in Pattern Keeper, and I was kind of, with something this big, I was kind of waiting to go back and do those portions, but I also don't want to forget to do them. I still think when this is done, I will probably be gifting this, whenever that may be. It's probably going to be quite a while in the future. We'll see how I feel about it once I reach that point. But yeah, this was kind of had dove into this. I think this was the same year. I have to double check when my 2-year cross stitch anniversary is, because I started stitching in it was in July of 2021. I just don't remember the exact date. I have to look. So we're right about 2 years of stitching. So I think this was in late, yeah, maybe not late. It was I think this was sometime that same year that I had started in on this. But yeah, it's been on my mind, and I want to get back to it. So make note of that. That was number 24. Opening Gambit. Okay. This one will also be going in the pile of things I need to focus on and get done. This is Mojo Stitches, Too Many Legs, Biscornu. I need to do the this is the bottom of the Biscornu. Bring it up there. There's the spider web in the middle. I don't have much left to do. I think the reason I was putting this off was because since there's not a whole lot of stitching, there was like a lot of counting to get to the various areas, and I hadn't wanted to sit there and focus and count out where it needed to go. I don't even know how many stitches I have left on this. I know it's not all that many. I just need to get this done and then take the top and put everything together and actually construct my first Biscornu. So this I've been meaning to get this done since last year, and I just haven't sat down. So this is going in the pile of things to focus on. This is number 25. And this is using this is why am I blanking on the name of this fabric? It's the country mocha. That's not the full name, but I'm not remembering for some reason. I think this is the 32 count, because I also have some 40 count on hand when I got for a project which I have not yet started, but I had bought 32 count. I accidentally bought a lot of the 32 count when I had first started stitching, so that's what I had pulled from to stitch this on. The flosses are all the called for cottage garden threads, because I got a so sometime last year when I had placed an order from Cottage Garden Threads for the floss, and then I also got the kit that had the pattern and then the flosses. So this one has been another one that's been on my mind. It's just like I need to get this done, and I just haven't done it. But that's one that I could knock off the list if I just spend a little time. Okay, there's my stack of WIPs. I think those are all the ones that are going to go in the, I should really try and get these ones knocked out and done. But I have a few more. This is my other Carolyn Manning. This is Chameleon. This is not as big as Birthday Cake. I have a nice little portion done there. I like the colors on this. I like all the colors on the Carolyn Manning's designs. They're very nice. So yes, along with Birthday Cake, another one that I can work on. That's a pretty relaxing one to work on. Okay. What else do I have here? Oh. Okay. Well, maybe I will have one more for the stack of small things. This is one that was my own design, although I haven't quite finished the design where I charted out the text, and I have like little emoji symbols and things I'm going to put in here. But this is my BBL Drizzy pattern, and I was stitching on it quite a bit when I first did it, and then I got distracted by other things, and I know I haven't gotten back to this because it sort of feels like there was a time where this happened and this took place, and I made the pattern as I went through there, but then the time it takes to stitch, it's sort of like the time has gone a little bit past it. It's not quite as relevant, but I still want to finish this, so maybe I will add this one into the pile of just finish it and get it done before it's years from now and I'm like, why was I doing this? So yes, I will add that. This is a, I don't remember what fabric this was, and maybe on, oh wait, it's on here. This is 40 count pewter Newcastle linen fabric from Picture This Plus. This was just, I know when I place an order from 123 Stitch, I will often look for these, you know, kind of small little pieces of fabric because they aren't that much, and it allows you to try out different fabrics and see if you like them. So then if you're, you know, then trying to plan out some bigger project down the road, you aren't necessarily investing in a big piece of fabric without being familiar with what the fabric is like. So those are helpful. And then this is Silken Colors gets Egyptian Nights, where again the variegation in the floss is doing a lot of the heavy lifting of making text look interesting. Okay, so that was one more being added to that stack. Gee, if I just focused on those, I could get some finishes. Is that gonna precariously perch there? All right. This is the last one, and I know what this is. This is number 27. I only have 27. 27 has felt like a lot, but I'm sort of relieved that it's not more than that. I'm feeling, this has made me feel better about my WIPs. I really don't have, to me it feels like a lot, but I feel better. Particularly because there are other things I'm planning to start. This is, do I have a note of what color? I don't think I have a note of the color. This is Silks for You. I got a hank of, and I know they're all by number. This is PR something, because I don't remember offhand. It's purple and teal variegated. And this is another one I feel guilty about not getting back to. I started it in September of last year. This is Saga from Long Dog. I think this is a 40 count Picture This Plus in, what is it, Tycho maybe? I don't 100% remember. But yeah, I got this first portion. Okay, I think we're, you know, a bit over, I'd have to look for the stitch count, but I think we're like a bit over 1,000 stitches, and done it, then got distracted by other things, and still need to get back to this. And obviously this is a big piece, and I need to put in more progress. It's just, I think because it's so big, and it's sort of like, I guess if I could do, and I don't know if I can commit to this right now, if I could do what I'm doing with No Time Like the Present, and just at least get a little bit in regularly, even if I'm only making a small amount of progress, I'm still making progress. Maybe that's what I need to do with this. I can't promise that's going to happen. But I do need to kind of work this back into the rotation. So that, unless I've managed to forget something, which is always a possibility, that is all of my WIPs. Yes. So 27. Again, not as bad as I had feared. Now that I've made sort of a mess around myself, I will have to get all my projects organized a bit more here, and I need to, realizing I don't have bags, excuse me, I don't have bags for everything. Yeah, I need to get some more of the inexpensive bags to tuck some of these things in, or, like I said, take some of the things I have kitted up but not started and get them out of those bags for now so I can free them up. So there's, I know there's other things I will be starting soon. The other thing in addition to that I'm going to try and focus on is the Femurs and Fungi cell that I started first, because I'm almost done with those frames. I want to make more of a dent, and hopefully I don't know that I can have it done before I start in on the other Fine Frog cell, the one that's going to start in August, but it would be nice if I could have that one done by then, but no promises. So I know that's coming up. There's the Dream Within a Dream from Artsy Housewife that I have stuff kind of ready to go, and I want to get that one started as well. There's so many other things that I am planning to start, although none of them are kind of super immediate. The other one that I will be starting, which I think is it later this month that it starts? I forget the start date. It's the Satsuma Street, what's the name of it? It's like a haunted house type cell. It's a mystery cell, so I don't know what it looks like, but I got the flosses, ordered the floss pack for that, and got the fabric at the same time as I had got my floss for the Fine Frog cells, as I was ordering things. So yeah, I know there's multiple cells out there that I'm going to start in on. I was just before filming this, as I was checking on YouTube, Nitya had responded to a comment mentioning the Deadly Aquarium cell that I know lots of people are working on. That's one that it sort of had been on my radar. I was trying to decide whether or not to start it. I have not purchased the pattern at this time, but I've been kind of thinking about doing it, but with everything else I'm not sure. I don't know whether I will ultimately cave in and do that as well. If I do that, I sort of need to look, I would need to look at the Armour and one, see if I have the floss on hand. I would really hope that I would have floss, or at least be able to kind of pull from stash instead of placing yet another order for floss when I had done that not all that long ago. And yeah, and I would have to see what fabric I have that could be used, but yeah, I don't know. Considering, and actually what looking at that, what really drew me in from the part that had been released was those seagulls. Those seagulls are so cute on there. But yeah, so not sure that I'm going to do that, but it's another one that's sort of been on my mind. So assuming I have counted right, and we'll see when I go back through, this should be 27 WIPs, which is, to me, it's still a lot, but it's less than I had feared. So I'm feeling better about this. And now I will have to go and try and edit this video. My goal is to get the video edited. I don't know whether I can finish that yet today. We will see. And get it edited and uploaded, although it won't be posted until Sunday. I am filming this on the 4th of July. And then after I have that and ready to go, that's when I need to really look at my computer and see about reinstalling Windows. It had been having issues I had been having a lot of like blue screening issues that I had just sort of like ignored because I figured I needed to replace my machine, and I wasn't ready to do that just yet. But then I sat down, spent more time. The RAM was an issue. I put new RAM in, and that helped quite a bit, but it's still doing some crashing. And so my next step is I'm going to reinstall Windows, but I don't want to be doing that right before I'm supposed to be getting a video edited and up. So goal is take care of this video and then focus on the computer, and fingers crossed. So that's that. I should be back in 2 weeks with another video. Yeah, we'll see. Hope everyone is enjoying their summer. Thank you for watching this video. If you made it through to the end, if you were stitching on something, I would love to know what you were stitching on. And thank you for being here. And I know it's WIP Parade season, so I'm sure that I will be watching a lot of Flosstube WIP Parades myself, and really trying not to get too sucked into starting even more things. So, alright. Thank you so much, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.